Much like politicians and the media never let a good crisis go to waste, SJWs also never let a golden moment to demonstrate their stupidity go to waste either. Hello, this is Mara Jade, and I'm here with another video, and I found this article on Bounding into Comics entitled, Disney's Mulan accused of being too white behind the camera. Yes, let's judge a person based on either his or her skin color, gender, or sexual orientation first, because the outlying qualities on an individual is all that matters to these people, not talent, not content of character. No, that is secondary. So let's all focus on skin color and the fact that it's too white. Never mind that the entire cast is Asian. Never mind that. No. It has to meet the requirements for these people both in front of and behind the camera. So let's get into this article and I'll give my 2 cents on this asinine take, shall we? Oh my god. Alright. Disney's live-action Mulan has been accused of being too white behind the camera by Keshav Kant in Metro UK. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Kant, who is the editor-in-chief at Off Color, wrote an article for Metro UK titled, I've loved Mulan since childhood, but the remake is too white behind the camera. So basically, he's judging the people based on their skin color first. Never mind that they maybe were the most qualified for their jobs for this film. It doesn't matter. The fact that they are too white, too, I guess, light-skinned for his taste is just, no, that is wrong. You do not do that. We have to judge white people negatively based on their skin color, but we have to judge positively others, minorities or otherwise, based on their skin color. That's racism, no matter how you spin it. Negative or positive, judging someone based on his or her skin color, gender, or sexual orientation is a form of discrimination. No matter how you try to smooth out the edges of your racism, sexism, or what have you. In the article, Kant takes issue with the crew of the film. Finally, it premiered on 10 March, but as the cast of Asian excellence lined up, Asian excellence? Wow. On the red carpet for photos and interviews, they were followed by the crew, majority of whom were, unsurprisingly, put it in parentheses, very white. So basically, he's being racist. There's no two ways about it. Okay, Kant added, as a person of color, this was incredibly frustrating to see. Well, technically, I'm biracial. I am half European and half Middle Eastern, so technically I'm a person of color. I do not give, really, a damn the color of a person's skin. I go by what Martin Luther King said, and I judge by the content of their character. So it doesn't matter what kind of positive spin you try to put on this. This is racism, pure and simple. He would then espouse some pretty racist views while taking issue with the race of the crew of Mulan. We were promised that this remake would be a departure from the animated movie's Orientalist roots, and a more accurate to origin retelling of the Chinese legend and folk song, the Ballad of Mulan, which the movie is based on. But seeing a whole host of white people parade onto that carpet and enjoying their time in the spotlight made it feel hollow. They're enjoying their time in the spotlight because they worked on the damn film. So if you worked on something, a project, doesn't matter what the project is, and it is premiering, and you have a chance to bask in whatever shine is being put onto that project, yes, you are going to enjoy that time in the spotlight. Who cares what their skin color is? Who cares what their gender is? Who cares what their sexual orientation is? That doesn't matter to most people. All that matters to most people is the talent they bring to a film or any project. He continued with his racist remarks. It was a visual slap in the face, an undeniable message from Disney that the Asian people telling the story on screen are mere puppets on strings with no real control over how their own stories are told. What the hell does that mean, own stories? Yes, it is based on a legend and a folk song, but the people in front of the camera are actors and actresses, so yes, they are going to do what they are told by the director, and they are going to follow the script written by screenwriters. To boil it down, essentially, actors and actresses, when they are in a film, are essentially puppets. It doesn't matter who's behind the camera. They do what they're told. This is not... Do you not understand how the film industry works? This is like basic information. This is a basic understanding of it. How? How have you survived this long without going apoplectic over every little damn issue out there? Can't, I don't know, I'm just saying however I think it's pronounced at this point, then takes issue with the removal of Li Shang from the film and blames it on white people. Okay, while there are those out there who like to consider themselves white saviors, I would blame, actually, if you were actually watching the news on this, the Me Too movement. A movement that, while it might have started with good intentions, and much like the road to hell is paved with good intentions, it morphed into more or less a witch hunt against traditionally masculine traits and qualities. Basically, an attack on manhood. Almost. So basically, that's where you blame. That's where you put the blame. If I'm going to agree with you on anything, you put the blame there. I'm upset that they removed that character. They did not need to, but they chose to prostrate themselves before the Me Too altar. I'm disgusted by how a beautiful love story that focused on the woman taking control and allowed her to lead the relationship's development is disregarded as a flippant justification for a creative decision made by white people who clearly don't understand the story's nuance. I don't fucking care if it was made by white people. The fact that they removed it because they were bending over backwards to appease a bunch of harpies as part of the Me Too movement, that's what they were doing. So if you're going to blame anyone, blame the feminists. Kant adds, at this point, I've given up. This is no longer my favorite Disney story. It's a white person's chance to flex their creative muscles and cash a Disney check. You are so racist. In order to correct this perceived problem, Kant demands that white people will not be allowed in leadership roles and have creative control and authority. So yes, going back to qualifications don't matter, talent doesn't matter, business savvy doesn't matter, nothing matters as far as the content of one's character and whatever traits and talents and so forth they bring to the table. All that matters is the fact that you are white, and that is a no-no, and you cannot be in a leadership role. He writes, not everyone on the crew needs to be of a specific race and ethnicity that pairs with the story told, but those who are in leadership and roles and have creative control and authority should be. You are dictating the terms. No matter what. And I can guarantee it, you would, if you could, dictate the race and ethnicity of the crew to fit your narrative, to appease your professional victimhood. God. He continues, the director and screenwriters, for example, as well as the costume designer who specializes in historically accurate clothing and composers who are familiar with the culture's musical history and traditions. White people can be familiar with those. It's called studying history. That is not exclusive to one race, gender, or sexual orientation. Do you think before you write? Kant concludes by demanding that Disney hire sensitivity readers. Bullshit. Bullshit. To quote Stephen Hughes, the comedian, be offended, nothing happens. It doesn't hurt to go the extra step either. For instance, by hiring an on-set historian, sensitivity readers to review the script and screening rough edits to knowledgeable critics before confirming the completion of the film. So YouTubers Clownfish TV would describe Kant's entire article as ridiculous. Geeky Sparkle states, this is ridiculous. They went out of their way to make sure that they got the right people in the right parts. They went and made sure they talked to the Chinese people to fit in what they consider culturally appropriate for them. They went all these extra miles, and now they are pissed because the director is too white. The director is also a woman. So you're either racist or you're sexist at this point, buddy. Pick one. Or, actually, you could be both at this point, because she's a white woman. And too many whiteys behind the camera. Kiki Sparkles is exactly right. The Hollywood Reporter noted that director Nikki Caro wasn't Disney's first choice. In fact, they first looked at directors of Asian descent, including Taiwanese Oscar winner Ang Lee. That would not have gone over well with the Chinese market. I love Ang Lee, but that would not have gone over well. And Chinese director Jiang Wen. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Disney apparently chose Caro because she showcased a knack for representing cultures outside of her own with 2002 debut Whale Rider. So yes, if you demonstrate you have the talent to do so, it doesn't matter what your skin color is, or your gender is, or your sexual orientation, or anything like that. It does not matter. You demonstrate the qualifications and you show that you are capable. Interestingly, the Hollywood Reporter even details that Caro assembled a mostly female-led crew. That crew included, I'm going to try to say their names, I'm hoping I'm not butchering them. The crew included cinematographer Mandy Walker, costume designer Bina Deglier, makeup designer Denise Kum, and the first assistant director Liz Tan. So I'm hoping, at least the second name, I'm hoping I did not butcher it. Caro had already responded to the likes of Kant. She told the Hollywood Reporter, although it's a critically important Chinese story and it's set in Chinese culture and history, there's another culture at play here, which is the culture of Disney, and that the director, whoever they were, needed to be able to handle both, and here I am. Boom! As I documented in the video above, Caro also received advice from producer Bill Kong, who previously produced Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Monster Hunt. Kong advised Caro, the first thing I told her was, hire a Chinese girl. You can't hire a Japanese girl to do this. So she's basically literally taking advice from an Asian man. But not good enough for you, is it? Kong also told Caro that historical accuracy is not a big concern given that Mulan is a fictional character. I told Caro to not be too concerned about the historical accuracy. Mulan, though very famous, is fictional. She's not an historical person. Exactly. While there does need to be some, respect for history in most of these cases, it's not important. The overall story is the most important in this case, and if they get it right, that's what matters. Now, me personally, even if it were still coming to theaters, I wasn't going to bother to see it because, one, they took out Mushu, and two, they took out the love story. They removed the love story entirely because of the Me Too movement. So I'm like, sayonara, you're not getting my money. So, sorry, that's a Japanese saying, but get the gist. In fact, Caro even details that Disney tested the film in China and removed a kiss between Mulan and her love interest, Chen Hongwei, because of the reaction the Chinese people would have to it. So they're basically making sure China is okay with this film. Caro explained, it was a very beautiful, but the China office went, no you can't, that doesn't feel right to the Chinese people, so we took it out. And if it wasn't clear that the film is made for Chinese audiences, Caro stated, of course it's vitally important that it succeeds in China because it belongs to China. Whatever, that's okay. That's fine. Whatever. But the point still stands that she got advice from an Asian man, primarily Asian cast, and screened it in China to make absolutely positively sure that they didn't piss them off. And yet you are still bitching. As you can tell, not only is Keshav Kant espousing racist ideas, but he also seems to have written an article without doing any research on the upcoming live-action Mulan film whatsoever. Mulan was expected to hit theaters on March 27, 2019. However, Disney and director Nikki Caro decided to delay the film due to the coronavirus. Oh, and here's the message. I'm not going to read that. Alright, end of the article. Okay. So basically, like I said, these people never let a golden opportunity to demonstrate how moronic they are go to waste, much like politicians in the media with a good crisis. Basically, no research whatsoever, went off his professional victimhood status, went off his need to feel offended and outraged, and wrote an article without doing his due diligence, supposedly as a journalist, and there you have it. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on this whole asinine nature of these people who, this outrage culture. No matter the side, they need a reason to complain, they'll find a reason to complain, and guess what? Guess what, Kashav? You just gave me ammunition for a video, so thank you very much for that. So until my next video, this is Mara Jade, and I'll catch you on the dark side. Take care.